Hey guys, it's Jamie here. What I'd like to do today is, I started this series of me doing a daily journal and questions you can ask yourself for self-discovery. And then because I tried to make it more like an art journal, I ended up not doing it daily. So as you can see, the last page I did was on the 26th of September and we're now on the 2nd of October. I have no idea what to call the series. I'm calling it daily journaling still, but if you've got suggestions, put them in the comments below. I thought I'd show you how I'm going to try and do the next page and also go through a different prompt. So each time we're doing a slightly different prompt so that we get a broader picture of ourselves and our personal journey and self-development. I came across this, which I've owned for years, probably back in China, so 13-14 years ago, when I was going to teach myself how to paint and didn't. Well, not in watercolour, did in oil. Oil's easier if you're not an artist. I thought I'd look through here, find an image I liked, and then we could base the spread around the colours within that image. So the image becomes the thing that dictates. See, I love all of these. I'm not really into fairies, but I do love these illustrations. I really wish I could draw like this. It actually has like little ideas so that you could try to draw it. I mean, that's beautiful. It's got nothing to do with fairies, but I love it. Let's just have a look. Who do we like the look of? It's even got some really nice just little flowers and butterflies and things in here. It's a very pretty book that I am about to destroy, but I never look at it, so I don't need to keep it, do I? Oh wow, look at her. I wonder if she'll fit on a page. I think it's stunning, so we're going to go with this image. What I'm going to do is, I picked up these from Facebook Marketplace. I actually picked up 6 for £5. I'm going to go through my different papers to find papers that complement those colours. I'm also going to go through my British bird book to see if any British birds might complement these colours. Highly unlikely. I'm probably going to have to go through find a tropical bird online. I might also look at these butterflies, and I am going to come back to you with a series of potential things that we're going to use. Okay, this is as far as I've got, not very far. I found these baby wipes that we used to clean paintbrushes on, which I think will work. I found these little baby fairies in the same book. This was some handmade paper that someone had made and shared in group. This is on sticker paper. I had printed some off for another project, but I might use it with this one. I found these yellow hammers. I also actually quite liked these as well, because you could either go with that as pulling up the dress, or the yellow hammer as pulling up the other yellows, and some daffodils and some words which I may or may not use. I'm going to cut some things out and then we're going to have a play with layout. I've got some backgrounds here that I actually printed up on sticker paper, so it would be a bit of a waste to use them here. However, I think they're going to look awesome. So it's, what do I want to use? I quite like this one with this. I'm simply going to Mod Podge this down onto this page and then stick my lady on. I want to get this bit down first into this crease and come this way with smoothing it down, because obviously we want the pages to close. So I'm going to check first that's worked on there, making sure everything opens and closes nicely, which it does, because I love to ruin scissors. I'm going to trim up while it's still wet. I love it when the pages get really thick. I have her ladyship, who I want to put at the edge and at the bottom, and stick her down. I'm just wondering if there's anything that will help cover that edge up. Just trying to work out if I tear some of this straight down and add that to there, that might work. I don't think I'll be writing on this page. I don't think I'm going to want to ruin it with my horrible handwriting. We've got a bird, got some flowers, got some baby fairies. Not sure about the bird. I mean, I don't mind if things are out of proportion. It's more about how can I make it look nice. I think that might work. And then again, to get that to hold, I'm going to go over the top of it and shove it down. Now, it's where do we put our fairies? At the moment, there's not much between the two pages that joins them together, but maybe that's not important. Do you do that? Slightly sticky. I think I'll get rid of her and put these two down. Then, ooh, has lost his arms. Don't quite know how he was attached to him, but we'll do it that way. I'm going to let that dry and then decide what is next. It's the next day, or the next evening, next night. I had some deadlines. I know it was a Sunday, but I still had some deadlines. Right, let's continue. This is obviously very, very dry now. I am going to do probably something that if you watch my videos, you're getting used to me doing, which is using a black watercolour pencil to go round the outside of a few things and highlight them. Is that lifted? No. Some things look like they've lifted, but they haven't. I'm definitely loving this whole Mod Podge thing. Don't like how wet that is, mind. And I'm just going to zoom round the outside of most things, including the page edge, to pull them out a little bit on the page. A bit of a blast with the old water to get it to run a bit if I feel it's a little harsh, which I do. So do this and hopefully that will run down a bit, create something interesting. And I am going to do this process all over these two pages. While that dries, I found this, but it's the wrong colour. Therefore, I'm going to try and Distress Oxide it with what I would consider better colours. So I'm just going to try and brush on some other colours. If I don't like the effect, I can always spray it with water to bring up the distressing. So that's the green, and then let's get this vintage photo on there. I don't really have a purpley pink, so we are going to have to go with more of the kind of browns. We have the darkest, and I might try a bit of that, particularly around these edges. But like I say, what I will probably do is perhaps give it a blast with water, let it dry, and then do a second coat. Let's just see what happens if we give it a blast with water. Apart from it curling. Yeah, that's beginning to fit better, isn't it? So here we go. This is the final result. It's not perfectly aligned to this. We could put it down here. I'm trying to decide where it fits better. To me, it always makes sense to put a title at the top, but I think it kind of fits better around the base. So I'm going to go over the top, even though this is distress ink, so it will smudge it a bit. But I've distressed everything else down, Mod Podged everything else down, and I think this deserves the same treatment. I am loving this page, even though it hasn't really taken. It's just sticking and gluing, really. I've not really done much to it, but I still like how it's turned out. I've basically ended up doing this as an art journal. When I say my journey to the point that I'm at now, being a bit like the Cheshire Cat, what I mean is when the Cheshire Cat, I think it's the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland, gives directions to Alice and basically says you can go this way or this way or this way or this way, and doesn't give her an answer. And I think that's the same for everyone's journey in life, that you follow one path and then something happens and you end up on a different path. And sometimes you may feel like that different path is worse or it was a disaster. But eventually, every time you get diverted onto different paths and different routes and you feel like you're lost in the woods, eventually you come out at a beautiful waterfall that you'd never have discovered if you'd been on that first path. So the way I'm looking at my life so far, it's been incredibly varied, incredibly interesting. I've had very bad things happen to me, or what you would consider very bad things, like being left homeless with 3 children. And yet every single thing has been the making of me. And I wouldn't be where I am now, standing in front of my beautiful waterfall, if those different paths and jolts and problems in the road hadn't happened. So that is my journey. If you've enjoyed this video or any in the journaling series, or anything to do with junk journaling or planning or art journaling, because this has kind of wandered over into the old art journaling style, don't forget to subscribe. I try to upload regular content 5 to 7 times a week. Give this video a thumbs up so other people can see it, and let me know what you think of this project or any of the projects in any of the playlists that are listed in the description below. And I will see you next time.